everyone, my name is Stephanie Burns, the founder of The Business of My Art. The Business of My Art is a platform that aids artists, entrepreneurs, professionals, and students in really understanding the business side of their craft. Now we started doing some interview series and hopefully to help you work yourself through the process, get inspired, and if you're a fan of the arts, that you would actually go out and support some of these artists. Last video, we actually had an interview with Zoe Flowers. She is the author of From Ashes to Angel Dust, A Journey Through Womanhood. And today, I am so honored to be with Larry Singleton, the author of Honor Among Thieves. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's good. So far, so good. People have gravitated to the book and it's on its way.
Excellent. So we're going to talk to Larry today about the process that he went through. We're going to talk about some of the obstacles he had to overcome, as well as just get to know a little bit about Larry, and he's going to read from the book. So let's start with, what is Honor Among Thieves about?
All right, Honor Among Thieves is about a crime family, the Alexander family, actually a drug syndicate, and it's a real cat and mouse type of up-tempo. It's truly a thriller in the true sense of the word. And the detective Hopkins, so it's kind of like the back and forth with him chasing them, and I don't want to give too much away.
Right. The good thing about when you have these thrillers, you want to go out, and I tell you, I've got mine. It was on a Kindle. Larry contacted me and said, hey, my book is out. And so I went and downloaded it, and I think it took me maybe 2 days to read. And only because I needed to go to sleep that I didn't finish it in one day. So it's definitely a page turner. So these thieves, I kind of call them the cartel, so to speak. You almost, it's like supporting the bad guys. You feel for them, and was that the intent?
Absolutely. It's like, I'm a big fan of The Sopranos, and you love Tony.
Right.
Like you hated the feds in The Sopranos.
That is true.
That's the kind of the feel I wanted to create with it.
That is so true. So let's read a little bit in Honor Among Thieves. So I have to admit, we had to find a section that he could read, so it is graphic. So children, maybe not for you, but adults that really want a thriller, something that'll keep you reading, this is definitely a book you should have. So Larry, what page are you reading?
I'm on page 43.
All right, page 43.
All right, now this excerpt, this is where the detective has followed one of them to a local donut shop.
Okay.
But the people in the donut shop are more on the side of the thieves as opposed to law enforcement, so he's learning now. I'll just get into it.
All right.
Detective Hopkins, having reached the sandwich shop's front door, was surprised that Charles wasn't inside. Excuse me, where's the guy who came in about 20 minutes ago? He asked Sal. I think he went to the bathroom. He tried not to laugh. Detective Hopkins opened the bathroom door and felt his blood pressure rising when he saw that it was empty. Drawing his weapon, he stormed out the back door and walked around the perimeter of the shop, only to find Charles's car gone. Hopkins returned to his vehicle and found a cup of coffee and a donut box with the words Peterson's Bakery printed on them. Throwing them on the ground, he walked back into the bakery. Excuse me, a man just bought a dozen donuts and a cup of coffee. Did you see where he went? Nobody's been here all day, Audrey replied. He knew she was lying. If looks could kill, his stare would have ended her life. He realized the guy in the sandwich shop was in on it too. Throughout his years on the force, Detective Hopkins experienced countless situations where citizens didn't cooperate with law enforcement, either because they feared the criminals who were destroying their neighborhoods or they worked with them. In either event, the situation presented a unique challenge.
So, Detective Hopkins, how long has he been chasing this particular family?
Actually, in the beginning of the book, he was just appointed to a special task force specifically for the Alexander family. So they're all just meeting. It's not like this has been
doesn't have history. So
so
this is all kind of new and surprise to him. So he's thinking, hey, I'm going to go to this donut shop. I'm going to apprehend this guy.
Absolutely.
And he got played. So much so that the guy, put the donuts in his car on the donut shop did. And then when he goes in thinking he's going to get cooperation, they're like,
nobody's been there all day.
Now, did the Alexander family pay off this donut?
No, this was a situation where it's like, these are just neighborhood shops, and even throughout all the negative things they did, they were always supportive of people, like the type of people that would bring an old lady's packages in.
Gotcha. So the community helps the community even when they do something wrong. It's kind of that code of honor, and you see that kind of throughout the book, and so you have to go get it. Now, you said you were a fan of The Sopranos.
Absolutely.
How did that play a part in what you write about?
I've always been a fan of crime thrillers, anything along those lines. And the thing that The Sopranos did that you touched on earlier was like, how do you make the criminals likable?
Yeah.
That's hard to do. And if you can ever find that balance between the entertainment of the things they do, but still be relatable characters, like, did you watch this? Were you a fan of The Sopranos?
I watched The Sopranos, yes.
So you know that as you look at it, like, aside from all the things that they do, you like the family ties. Like, a lot of it is set in his home.
Right.
A lot of it is heavily based on his interactions with his kids, with his wife, whatever. And it's like real life situations, aside from
right.
the obvious things in The Sopranos. But other than that.
So, I met you, had opportunity, I know Larry, I was a professor at a university here in New Orleans, and Larry was a business major, and he told us then that he wanted to write. And so we get a lot of entrepreneurs and artists especially that says, hey, I have this great idea, but taking that idea from paper to actually doing it sometimes is a challenge within itself. So what inspired you, or what did you do to say, I am going to, it's not just an idea in my head, I'm going to actually see it through?
This is funny, because this is where we have to go back to Miss Gephardt.
All right, so Miss Gephardt, it was one of your professors, your English professor, okay.
We actually had to write a paper on The Sopranos, and I think that played, like, I've always been an avid reader, but I wouldn't say that the spark for writing was there per se. So when that came about, that I was forced to write, so then I realized, wait, I could see doing this. And that actually was the inspiration for my first novel. I mentioned her in the acknowledgments.
Excellent. So, and I think this is really important, because a lot of times people think that, oh, this has to be an idea that, that I had when I was a child. This came about because Larry was in school, had to write, realized how much he enjoyed writing and that he was an excellent writer, and then had the idea of saying, now let me go and see what I can do. So Honor Among Thieves is actually your second novel. Your first novel, we were talking earlier, tell everyone the name of your first novel.
Malum in Se.
Malum in Se, and that's Latin for evil per se, or right. Evil per se. And so Larry's first novel, and he's going to re-release it, so don't go looking for it yet. It's going to come out this summer. There was kind of a snafu that happened, and sometimes we need those snafus to happen so we can actually jump. So tell everyone what happened with the first novel. This
is what happened. Being a novice and having absolutely no idea what to do in terms of getting it from a thought to an actual published work, I was in such a hurry to get it done that my final submission was actually the rough draft. So all the editors and all the critics, they had a blast with the red pens with the first one. But again, like you said, that's scheduled to be re-released, and I said this in a recent interview that I wouldn't trade that experience, even with all the mistakes. I think I needed that. I think that was actually the catalyst for Honor Among Thieves. Like a player, if you had a bad game and you know that's not you.
Right.
Yeah, I need to do this again.
Because honestly, I got your book and I gave you a pass because I said, oh, well, it's his first book,
Right.
first attempt, and I said, this book is really, really great, minus some of the grammatical errors and stuff. And I was like, well, now if you clean this up, it'll be an excellent book. And one that I really see as a movie, and we're not going to talk about it yet, but is that the goal?
Absolutely. And
what about with Honor Among Thieves? What do you see?
I see Honor Among Thieves as a series, like to touch back on The Sopranos again.
Okay.
That is such a good story that I don't think you could cram that into an hour or 2 hours. Like that's.
Gotcha. And so is there going to be like the second part of Honor Among Thieves?
Absolutely.
And so it'll be called whatever, Honor Among the Second Thief. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Volume 2.
Volume 2. And so, going back to that first novel, when you submitted it, did you self-publish or were you submitting it to a publisher?
I self-published.
You self-published. And so a lot of people would say you self-publish when you realize that it was a mistake. Why didn't you retract it then?
I think it was a situation as to, well, I kind of wanted the world to see where I was at that time. It was like, it wasn't the polished album. It was a freestyle, so to speak. And it's funny, I was asked that same question, and the response was, it gives my fan base a chance to grow with me. Like between Malum and Say and Honor Among Thieves, you see my evolution as a writer.
And I agree with you because that's the other thing, and kind of the second advice I would give to anyone watching is don't spend too much time focus on your mistakes. Oh, I didn't get it right, or this wasn't perfect. Sometimes you just have to jump and get yourself out there, because then when you do, you realize like, hey, I can do this, and then you move forward. And so you said it's going to get re-released in the summer. You have Honor Among Thieves. This was a project. Now, Honor Among Thieves, is this a self-published work or?
Actually, I self-published Malum and Say. So for the second go around, I was like, let me fish this out to the industry and see how this turns out. And an agent grabbed it.
Okay.
I actually ended up getting a deal, and we'll touch back on that's the gap in the middle. It was because of the health situation, but
yeah. So
I ended up having to re-release it because the publishing contract ended over the course of chemo.
Gotcha. So we're going to talk about Larry had some obstacles.